Let me. So we are looking at the frequency response of. Let me just make the adjustments. Basically, we are looking at frequency response of CS amplifier. So we want to look at how does the amplifier respond for different frequencies. That's exactly the frequency response. Let us first start writing the amplifier circuit. Okay, this is the very simple amplifier circuit. This is V0, this is VDD, this is coupling capacitor, this is Vin, this is N MOSFET. Let me name it as R1, R2, RD, and this is ground. Am I correct? Can I take some student with me? So let me just take Kusuma. Kusuma, why don't you unmute yourself?
Sir?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
Fine. This is the CS amplifier circuit. Fine.
Yes, sir.
I will write the a small signal equivalent. So for small signal equivalent, okay, what is the procedure for writing the small signal equivalent? I will replace the MOSFET by its small signal model.
Small signal model
So
and
the MOSFET is now replaced by something like this, GM into VGS. Oh, this is not writing. Okay, this is gate, drain, source. Am I correct?
yes, sir.
So the MOSFET is replaced. I will short the capacitor. I will ground this
Capacitor.
VDD. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes, sir.
will it become like this? This is my ground. This is RD. This is V0, and I will write R1, R2 coming in parallel. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So this is my input voltage. Perfect.
Yes, sir.
So this is AC small signal model of the CS amplifier. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
But to find the frequency response, in the last class we were trying to realize this low pass filter and high pass filter in this amplifier. Where is that? So that's what I was looking at saying, no? So we want to
Yes,
find
sir.
out this low pass filter, high pass filter in this circuit. But when we actually write this particular small signal model, can you see here in this low pass filter and high pass filter, can you find there is a capacitor available? Can you see there is one capacitor here, there is one more capacitor here,
Yes, sir.
but in the equivalent circuit we don't find a single capacitor. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
when you
sir.
don't have a capacitor, we cannot get that required LPF equivalent and HPF equivalent, because they require capacitors. But in this equivalent circuit, we don't have it. So let us try to understand what is this AC small signal model. Why that capacitor is not there? So you might have seen that. Why did we actually short this capacitor in the AC equivalent model? Can you remember? Why did we short that capacitor? Reason? Okay, the reason was because we assumed the frequency of the signal to be large. When the frequency is large, does the XC very less?
Yes, sir.
So since we have assumed the frequency to be large, so that's why we neglected this CC and replaced by short circuit. Correct?
Yes, sir.
But in this frequency response, you are not considering frequency to be very high. So when the frequency is not very high, now I need to write the AC small signal model for all frequencies. So this is one small correction I'll make for this circuit. So now what is this? This is the AC small signal model for high frequencies. This is for mid frequencies. So I want to write it for all frequencies. When I want to write it for all frequencies, I cannot neglect this Cc for lower frequencies. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So I will not short this. I will retain this as it is. See here, I'm just retaining this. I will write it as Cc. Earlier I was shorting, no?
Yes, sir.
Now for this frequency response, I will not short it because that will have some impact at low frequencies. Correct? So
Yes, sir.
we will rewrite this small signal model for lower frequencies by something like this. See, I'm writing here.
Yes, sir.
This is R1, R2, this is gate, this is source, this is GM into VGS, this is RD. Correct?
Yes, sir.
This is V in, this is grounded. The major change from this to this is we have included CC. We have retained CC here. Why we have retained CC? Because it will have an impact at lower frequencies. Because at lower frequencies, the impedance offered by this is high. I cannot neglect this. Correct?
Yes, sir.
We certainly neglected this capacitor over here when we are finding the response for the amplifier at higher frequencies. Since it is at low frequency, I will not neglect. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So fine. Now this is one small correction or one major correction. The other major correction is if you can remember, the MOSFET circuit was something like this. MOSFET cross sectional view. See now, this was the cross sectional view of the MOSFET. No? I'm just
Yes, sir.
writing it here. This is what? P minus N plus N plus. This is what? Gate, source, drain. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Can you exclusively see this portion? Can see this
Yes, sir.
gate is slightly extended. This gate is also slightly extended.
Yes, sir.
Now you can see this is the gate structure. In between that there is an oxide. So this is actually MOS now.
Yes, sir. Metal oxide.
Metal oxide semiconductor. See now,
Semiconductor.
what is the actual use of this? What is the actual use of MOS? So that I can have the channel creation.
Yes, sir.
Correct? Fine. Now, you know that there is a capacitor. Capacitor, we also call it as parallel plate capacitors. Heard of capacitor? Capacitor is nothing but it will going to have two plates of certain dimension and it is separated by a dielectric constant. Correct? This is
Yes, sir.
an oxide. This is an oxide. So this is plate 1. This is plate 2. So what is capacitance is given by? Capacitance is given by epsilon A by T, where T is the separation between the two plates and A is the area of this plate. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So this is how it looks in the 3D view. Correct? You have two plates. Between that you have some distance. So assume that this is plate 1, this is plate 2. There is some distance. So capacitance depends on what is the area of this plate and the separation and the dielectric constant. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now, can you see such type of capacitor between this gate and the source because of this overlap? I'll say this as overlap because the gate was supposed to end here, but it is slightly extended.
Yes, sir.
See, ideally speaking, the gate would have stopped here and you'd have had the, this is your source, drain, gate. Can you see, is there any
Gate.
overlap here? No
Yes,
overlap
sir.
because this is
No
not extending.
overlapping is
There is
there.
no overlap. But in the
Yes, sir.
actual case, there will be some overlap. See,
Yes, sir.
because of this overlap, can you see this source, this oxide, and this gate? Will it form a capacitor?
Yes, sir.
Will it be exactly same as this? Can you see there is a metal in the form of
Yes,
gate?
sir.
Can you see there is an
And
oxide in the form of gate oxide? Can you see there
Yes,
is
sir.
one more plate in the form of N plus, which is a source?
Yes, sir.
So I will name this as overlap capacitor. Capacitor. This is overlap capacitor. So this is between what and what? The terminals involved are gate and the
Gate
source.
or
I will
gate of
call it
and
as
source.
CGSO. This is the capacitance between gate and source due to overlap. Getting it? Of
Yes,
course,
sir.
it can be written as CGSO. So what is the CGSO? It is the
Gate,
overlap capacitance between gate and
gate
source.
source.
This is the capacitance between gate and source due to overlap, or we call it as overlap capacitance between gate and source. Correct?
Yes, sir.
And we have similar to this gate structure, sorry, gate and source, do we have CGDO also? What is
Yes,
the
sir.
CGDO now?
Capacitance between gate and drain.
Gate and drain due to overlap,
Yes, sir.
or it is overlap capacitance between gate and drain. Fine.
Yes, sir.
So how do I represent this? So now this is between gate and source and gate and drain, no? So what I'll do, I will
Yes, sir.
because in the earlier case I neglected that. Because at lower frequencies their impact is okay. At higher frequencies their impact is less. So what I'll do, since I'm just doing it for frequency response, I want to consider the all capacitances. Will it going to affect or not? I'm going to put it. So that's why we put this CC. Correct.
Yes,
So
sir.
now let me put this CGSO CGDO onto this. So do you know, okay, these are the terminals now? Gate,
Yes, sir.
drain, source. Now,
Yes, sir.
what are the capacitance you are looking at? You are looking at CGSO, CGDO. Am I correct? These two.
Yes, sir.
So this is between what and what? Which are terminals?
Or gate and source.
So I will put a capacitance between gate and source. See now? This is gate, this is source, this is CGSO. Getting the point now?
Yes, sir.
Because it is between gate and source. I'm just putting it between gate and source. There is a capacitor. I will name it as CGSO. Fine.
Yes,
And
sir.
I'll have one more capacitance between gate and drain. See here? Is it there between gate and drain?
Yes, sir.
So I will put it across this. Is this CGDO now?
Yes, sir.
So this is the final small signal model for for
All,
all
all
frequencies. For
frequency.
all frequencies, whether it is low or high, it is for all frequencies. Perfect.
Yes, sir.
See now we started from this small signal model without considering capacitors. Now there is a capacitor coming into picture. One of the capacitance is which was already existing in your circuit, which was CC. Now there are two more capacitances that were not considered earlier, but they are there physically due to the structure. They are called as parasitic capacitors. Parasitic. See here,
Capacity.
this is a capacitor which you have intentionally put. So you actually put, okay, maybe while doing your C amplifier, did you put in your Tinkercad a 0.1 microfarad there in the circuit?
Yes, sir.
So that is called as lumped. Lumped. This is called as lumped capacitor because you are physically placing it. But this is not, you're not physically placing a capacitor here. Because of the structure of this MOSFET, they are coming by their, of course it is coming because of their structure. So they are called as parasitic capacitors. So these are all internal capacitance, but they will have an impact on the circuit, but they are not placed physically. They are not placed externally. They are there due to the device fabrication itself. They are called as parasitic capacitors. These are all actually put in the circuit by a lumped element. These are all the parasitic capacitors. Getting the point?
Yes, sir.
This is lumped capacitance. These two are parasitic capacitors. Parasitic capacitors. Now, maybe how many of you gone through the videos? I think all of you have gone through the videos. I just mentioned a few videos, no?
Yes, sir.
This is who is with me? Kusuma.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Did you went through the videos?
No, sir.
Why? You? It was said to go through that. Otherwise, if this is the pace of learning, it's difficult. Whether you have quiz or not, I don't bother. But
Sir, I was not well, sir, so
for not
I
well,
didn't.
as you watch a movie, you would have just watched 10 minutes, 15 minutes, this one, no?
Sir, I will watch now, sir, after this class.
No, it was asked to watch before the class. So I don't care. No, all of you take it very seriously. When I ask you to watch, you should watch it. Otherwise, you will find it difficult. Now we can see I will not touch upon the things which is already there in the video. I'll just assume that you have already watched the video. Now I'll just go from here to next stage, because there is no pointing again doing some derivations and then spending time in just deriving the things. So I just I don't want to spend the time like that. You go through the video, try to understand what is the next stage of this. So is there anybody who has gone through the video? And just unmute yourself. Now again, it's a warning to all of you. When I say you have to go through 2 to 3 videos, you have to go through 2 to 3 videos. All the videos are not more than 15 minutes. So these are all the class recorded videos which are of 45 to 50 minutes. But the earlier which are there in the web link, the links that I have shared, it's hardly 15 minutes. So 15 minutes watching 3 videos will not take too much time. So that I ask you people maybe 2 days before. Make sure that all of you watch it. Who can just join
Sorry,
with
sir.
me? It's okay. Saying sorry is fine, but okay. Anybody who has watched the video can just unmute yourself and then who knows Miller's theorem? In that video there is a Miller's theorem. Nobody? Then I'll stop the
So just
class.
adding the currents in the equation. I is equal to I1 plus I2. Just gone through an equation.
No. Have you gone through that? Okay. Of course, I know
Yes,
that
sir.
it is hard to digest. What I want is you should simply first go through. Simply
Yes, sir.
first go through and
What
then okay.
we
Let
try to
us
solve for these two CGSO and CGDO.
Yeah, fine. Okay, let us try to understand. Okay, what is the useful of that? Maxwell, sorry, not Maxwell's, the Miller's
Miller's
theorem.
theorem.
So we know that we have to, of course, we have this circuit now. So we have the small signal model, which is something like this. So don't ask me to just tell you each and every time, go through the video, go through the video. Once it is said means said. So you have to go through the videos. So this is what is the equivalent circuit now you have. This is R1, R2, this is CC, this is CGSO, this is CGDO, this is RD, this is V0, this is Vin. All the time whenever you write a small signal model, all these things should be written. GM into VGS, this is drain, this is source, sorry, this is gate, this is source, this is VGS. Whenever I see any of your small signal model, entire thing should be there. So I didn't miss a single thing. Okay, fine. What does now we are looking at what? We are looking at something like this. So I'm looking at this circuit and this type of circuit, correct? So this is V in, this is again V in, this is R C, this is C R. So this is your LPF, this is your HPF. So we are looking at something like this from this, but you can see is there any component see here, is this connected to ground? R2, sorry, R1,
Yes, sir. Yes,
R2,
sir.
CGSO,
Yes, sir.
RD.
Yeah, yes, sir. Correct.
But you can see, okay, other than this, can you see this CGDO is floating between input and output?
Yes, sir.
So whenever you have a component which is not grounded, one of the terminal is not grounded or it is not connected to input, it is bit difficult to handle it in terms
Yes,
of
sir.
circuit analysis. So what Maxwell suggested is you split this circuits component which is floating between input and output, and you represent it by two capacitors, one on this side, one on the other side. What I'll do
Yes,
is
sir.
I will represent this CGDO by two capacitances which are having one of its terminal grounded on the
On
either side. So what I'll do is, so we will rewrite this entire circuit by eliminating this CGDO, which is floating between, or which is connecting input and output. So my circuit now reduces to something like this now. So this is the circuit now. This is CGSO. So I have one more capacitance, and I have this, and I have this,
and
and I have
in
this.
between.
You can see there is no more CGDO. So
Yes,
this
sir.
is now CC, this is R1, this is R2, this is CGSO. Let me call it as C1, let me call it as C2, this is RD,
Right.
this is V0, this is GM into
Mhm.
VGS. Okay, this is VGS. VGS between gate and source. This is gate, drain, source. See now the journey from this to this. Now what is the C1, C2? I will, of course, I'll ask all of you to just go through the video and then try to understand. C1 is nothing but C, okay, G DO into 1 plus AV, where AV is the gain of the amplifier. C2 is equal to CGDO into I think it is 1 plus 1 over AV, if I'm correct. Am I correct? Just correct me if I'm wrong there. So we have two capacitances being split onto the input side and output side. Correct? Now what I'll do, this is the magnitude of AV. So can I, since these two capacitors are in series, can I put them as a single capacitor? Sorry, they are in parallel. Can I add them? Hello? Hello? Can I? Have you gone or what? Hello? Okay, who is Hari Prasad? Just unmute. Hari Prasad.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Yeah. So now what I try to do is, so I try to rewrite this circuit. You can see what I'll do. I will just retain this input as it is. I will write this CC. See now, I will write it as R in. I will write this as C in. This is GM into VGS. This is, let me write it as C2. This is R. Okay, this is fine. This is gate, drain, source, grounded. What I'll do, I will write R in is equal to R1 parallel R2. Is it correct? See here, I am replacing these two resistors by a single resistor.
Okay,
Are they in
sir.
parallel?
Yes,
Are
sir.
they in
Yes, sir.
parallel? Okay.
Yes,
Shall
sir.
I write C in is equal to CGSO plus CGDO into 1 plus AV?
Yes, sir.
Because this is nothing but this plus this, because when the capacitors in parallel, you simply add them. When resistors in parallel, you have to write R1 R2 by R1 plus R2. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
So this is when they are parallel. This is when capacitors are in parallel. Why we are naming it as in and in means because this is a resistance seen at the input. This is a capacitance seen at the input of the amplifier. So that's why it is the name C in. We may write this as C out. C2 can also be written as C out because it is the capacitance seen at the output. Because this is input, no? Hello?
Yes, sir.
So this is
Yes, sir. Yes,
output.
sir.
So that's why it is R in, C in, R out, C out. So here R out is RD, here C out is C2.
Seat.
Correct? So I will write it as C out is equal to C2 is equal to CGDO into 1 plus 1 over AV. Correct?
Yes, sir.
What is R out? R out is equal to RD. Correct?
Yes, sir.
This is the equivalent circuit of the CS amplifier for all frequencies. For all frequencies. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Now let us rewrite this for different frequencies. At low frequency how it looks like, and at high frequency how it looks like. Correct? Now this is for all frequencies. It's like, okay, all weather thing. So it is for all frequencies. If you are exclusively considering for low frequency, how does this equivalent circuit differs? If you are considering this equivalent circuit for only high frequency, how it differs? Correct?
Yes, sir.
So what I'll do, I will write it for first low frequency. Okay, what I'll do is I'll just okay, for low frequency, okay, let me just rewrite that circuit as it is so that you can able to, this was the circuit what you had. Let me just do it quickly. This is, okay, this is interchange, no problem. This is V0, this is RD, C2, C in, R in, CC. Correct?
Yes, sir.
This is V in, this is V out, GM into VGS. So let me write it for low frequency. For low frequency, what is XC? Is it small or large? Okay, let us find out XCC and XCin at low frequency. So it is nothing but 1 over 2 pi F into CC. This is nothing but 1 over 2 pi F into Cin. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
When the frequency is low, what are these two values?
Will be high, sir.
Will it be high?
Yes,
So
sir.
does the reactance, of course, this is also high. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me also write a x of, okay, C2. This is 1 over 2 pi F of C2. Correct? So all of them are high. So now between you have Rin and this. So assume that Rin is equal to something like 10k. The effective resistance of this is something like 100k. So you have 10k and other is 100k. When you have 10k, 100k, which one you neglect when these two are parallel? Which one you neglect? Will you neglect the lower one or will you neglect the higher one when they are in parallel?
Higher ones.
Why?
So,
Why do you
Current
neglect
will
the higher one?
follow low resistance paths.
Much more closer answer. Why you usually, because when you have two resistors, let me consider there is a R1, R2. R1 is far greater than R2. Correct? Now,
yes,
what
okay,
is the
sir.
R equivalent now? R equivalent is close to which one? Here in this case, when R1 is when R1 is far greater than R2, which one you consider? Because the equivalent resistance will be closer to the smallest one. Correct?
It's a 9 kilo ohms.
No. What I mean is, the equivalent resistance when these two resistors are coming in parallel, if one is very large, so the equivalent resistance is usually smaller than the least.
Yes, sir.
So in this case, out of these two, at lower frequencies, is the reactance offered by this is very high?
Yes, sir.
When the reactance offered by this is very high at low frequencies, you neglect this. You neglect the effect of this C in at lower frequencies, you retain only this.
Yes, sir.
How about neglecting this now? So assume that you have two resistors, something like this. So if this is very high, suppose if you have two resistors are in series, suppose if two resistors are series, it is Rx and Ry. If this resistance is very high, will you neglect this resistance?
No, sir, we can't.
So you cannot neglect the effect of CC at low frequencies because it offers high impedance. but you are neglecting the impact of Cin at low frequency because it offers high resistance and it is in parallel with this.
Yes, sir.
So I will, how about this? I will neglect this also because it is coming in parallel with this. So at low frequency, the equivalent circuit looks like this. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Fine. This is at low frequency.
Yes.
Can you see, does this resembles
The low pass filter.
this one? See here?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Does this resemble this?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So we have a resemblance between this and the high pass filter. So we could able to realize a high pass filter in this amplifier for low frequencies. Correct?
Yes, sir.
So these are low frequencies. Let us go to high frequencies. When you go to high frequency, correct? When you go to high frequency, what are the reactance offered by this CC? Okay, what are the reactance offered by all of them?
Very less, sir.
They are all low. When they are low, when you have something in parallel, you cannot neglect.
Yes, sir.
Now, when you have two resistors, you cannot neglect the lower one, especially when they are in parallel.
Yes, sir.
Correct? So, you can certainly neglect this at high frequencies because its reactance offered is very less at higher frequencies. Correct?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
So, what I'll do, I will rewrite the circuit with, for high frequencies, I will short this CC. You can see CC is not having any impact at higher frequencies because its reactance is very less.
Very, very less.
So that's why I'm shorting it here. See here, I'm shorting this. But I will select this Rin.
Mm.
Okay, what will happen to this Rin is, this is, of course, this is neglected when compared to this. I will not write this. This is what? Seen.
Yes.
Seen. Now we can see this is gate. Of course, you don't have this. And you have this. Of course, okay, let me just retain this. Okay, let me just write this. What is this?
C2. C2.
C2. This is RD. See now, you have a C in here. You have a C in here. But maybe in your first class, you might have learned that every source will have some source resistance.
Yes, sir.
So let us consider that source resistance in the form of R source.
Yes. RS.
R source. See now, will it somehow look like there is a resistor here and there is a capacitor here? Will it now somehow look like this?
Yes, sir.
This is R, this is C in, this is R source. This is source resistance of this source. It's again a parasitic one. This is not a lumped, meaning that we have not exclusively connected this. It is there within the source. Can you see there is a low pass filter?
Yes, sir.
Can you see there is a low pass filter? There is a low pass filter existing at higher frequencies, and maybe after some time you'll get to know that this will also represent a low pass filter.
Yes, sir.
Of course, at this point of time, I cannot convince you people, sir. You said this is low pass filter. Okay, how do you say this is low pass filter? So at this point of time, okay, I cannot convince you people, but when I write the transfer function, it will be very clear. Fine. So we have two low pass filters. One is R source. One low pass filter is involving R source and C in. The other low pass filter that is involved RC is RD and C2. Correct?
Sir.
So why do
This-
we consider RD like?
That's what. As I said, because relatively this cannot be neglected because the reactance offered by this is not too less.
Yes.
So when we actually take the actual values of the C2 and RDs, we will not be totally neglecting this. Whereas here we are totally neglecting because this is very, very small. This is very, very small. well, of course, when we actually do the experiment or when we actually do the simulation, you'll get to know it. Now, what we have now is this amplifier. Which amplifier? The amplifier what we started with. Where is that? Okay, this amplifier has got three filters. One high pass filter and two low pass filters. So when I say one high pass filter, so what is that cutoff frequency of that high pass filter? Shall I say this is one of the high pass filter? Shall I say this is, because when we actually wrote the expression for cutoff frequency, maybe in the last class, did we wrote this is your high pass filter? What is the cutoff frequency? I think I wrote it as 1 over 2 pi RC. 1 over 2 pi RC. See here, this RC, 1 over 2 pi RC is the cutoff frequency. What is the R? It is this R. What is C? It is this C. So coming to this circuit, this is at low frequency, acts like a high pass filter. What are the R and C's associated with that? It is
CC and RN.
2 pi CC and RN.
Yes, sir.
So these two are the capacitor and resistors which will decide the frequency of
High pass filter.
the low pass filter. Sorry, high pass filter. It's at low frequency. At low frequency, high pass filter. Here I said there are two low pass filters.
Yes, sir.
This low pass filter has got 1 over
RF,
2 pi
RF
R
and
in, sorry, R source,
source.
R source and C in.
C.
How about this? 1 over
1 by 2 pi
pi
RD into
RD
C.
into C2. Correct? So
Yes, sir.
this is what is two high pass filters and two low pass filters and one high pass filter. Let me just take you to simulation and then try to see how it is coming. So let me just I don't know whether I have a circuit, or otherwise I'll just make one circuit for you. Let me see. Okay, I have an amplifier. Okay, let me take this. Let me make this lambda not be there. See, we have actually said that CGDO, CGSO, no? Hello.
Yes, sir.
Those have to be specified here. By default, they were 0. Now I need to specify. Let me say it as CGD.
So blank. So screen is blank.
Wait. I'll make it visible. I'll share it. Okay. It's fine, no? Okay. Now you can see I try to CGDO is equal to, I'll make it as 100 nanofarad, comma CGSO. SO is equal to 100 nano. See, I'm trying to put those two parasitic values, CGDO and CGSOs. If you want to know what is that CGDO, CGSO, you can just go to this help and then find out what is that CGDO, CGSO. Where is that? Okay, let me just say MOSFET, then search in the MOSFET. Okay, you can see there is a model. Let me just show you that. Okay, not this. Okay, here. Can you see here? Gate source overlap capacitance per channel width. Can you see this CGSO, CGDO? Of course, default values are 0. You can specify something like 4 into 10 power minus 10. Okay, what I made is now 100 nano, which is of this order. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay, now we have specified CGDO, CGSO. It has to be like this, CGDO and CGSO only. Correct? So of course, let us discuss why it is capacitance per channel width. So I will spend some time maybe in the next class. For the time being, you just be with me now. Is this fine? The parameters?
Yes, sir.
Okay, let me also introduce a source with some source resistance. Some maybe, what is that? Let me take it as, would you like to have less or more series resistance? Let me make it very, let me make it something like 10K. What is the ideal value of series resistance? Source,
So, see,
voltage source, ideal value 0.
yes, sir.
It should be 0, but I'm taking a typical source which is a very bad source having a series resistance of 10k,
10.
which is very bad. So you'll not have any source with 10k. Let us see what happens. So now this is have we introduced the parasitic also in the form of what? In the form of this CGD or CGSO. Do we have this also? CC.
Yes, sir, we have.
So
Yes, sir.
now, since we are doing the frequency response, I cannot use this sine wave having a single frequency. So note this very carefully. Whenever you do a frequency response, the source cannot be sine, because in the sine source, what are the things you are specifying? Can you see here, are you specifying the amplitude as well as the frequency? This
Yes, sir.
is for a single frequency. If you want to do a frequency response, you cannot specify the frequency. So whenever you want to do a frequency response, you have to select a source none. See here, this is the source selection, and AC amplitude should be amplitude 1. It is not 1 volt, it is simply an amplitude of 1. This is one of the major change if you want to do any frequency response in LT spice. Getting the point? So one of the major change is you have to have a source which is none here. The amplitude should be AC amplitude is 1. You introduce a series resistance of whatever value you want. So we have taken it as 10k, let us find. Correct? Amplitude should be 1, so on so. And coming to the simulation command should be AC sweep. AC sweep. Now we can see type of the sweep should be decade. Number of points you take it as 100 points per decade. You start from a very low frequency of 10 Hertz. You go up to a frequency of 100 or maybe 1 gigahertz. 1 G, fine. Either capital or small, it is 1 giga. See now I'm doing a frequency response starting from 10 Hertz to 1 gigahertz with number of points as 100 per decade. Now everything is run. I will save it and then run. Okay, it is CG. Oh, CDSY written. I written as CGDO. It cannot recognize. It is not CDSO. It is CG. CGSO. CGSO. Fine. Okay, now it is done. I will do it. Now you can see this is the input. Can you see? Okay, let me just. Okay, let me take out that. 1 second. F5. I do it. Now let me see the output. Where is the output seen? Perfect. See now? Can you see at lower frequencies it is increasing like this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, and it becomes constant and it reduces, and can you see it reduce again?
Yes, sir.
Let me just show you both of them. We were looking at what is that? We are looking at one filter, no? That is high pass filter. High pass filter does the frequency response looks like this. Where is the high pass filter? High pass filter. Last class we discussed, no? This is the high pass filter? Was it going like this? So it was going like this and then coming down.
Sir.
Okay, let me write it for you. So we have one high pass filter. Is it actually going like this? See now, this is frequency, this is gain, this is CC, this is Rin. Am I correct? This is some
Yes,
magnitude. You come down by 3 dB. Note down what is this frequency. This I'll call it as F1. Is F1 is equal to 1 over 2 pi R in into CC?
Yes, sir.
What is Rin now in this circuit? What is Rin? Let me just take out this. What is Rin? Is it 100k in pair with 80k? 100k in pair with 80k?
Yes,
One
sir.
of you give me what is 100k in pair with 80k? Rin
Sir?
is equal to, just calculate 100k in parallel with,
Oh, okay.
it's less than 80k.
44.44.
How much?
44.44.
44. How much is Cc? 0.1 microfarad. Give me what is F1? 1 over 2 pi Rin into Cc. That is, okay, 2 into pi into, how much is Rin? 44.44 exponential 6 into 0.1 exponential minus 6 was, can you see it is 35.81 hertz. How do I know this? So I can find out this, because this is your high pass filter response cutoff frequency.
Yes, sir.
So I will take two cursors, I'll place one of them here, I'll place the other one where? I'll place the other one so that the difference is 3 dB. Can you see here? Can you see this difference here on the right bottom?
Yes, sir.
So you just, sorry, I'll move the second cursor so that the difference becomes minus 3 dB. Just have a look at that, just keep on having a look at this particular point. That should become minus 3. As it become close to, it is fine. Fine.
Yes,
Can you
sir.
see this is minus 3?
Yes,
What
sir.
is, just have a look at this frequency.
28.3.
Is it not this cursor too?
Yes, sir.
What is the frequency that you expected?
35.81.
Are you not very close to it?
Yes, sir.
So
Yes,
this
sir.
is one of the cutoff frequency which is decided by the input impedance and the coupling capacitor.
Yes, sir.
Now what I'll do, suppose if you are not believing me, let me change the what is that, capacitance value to 0.01. See, I made it 0.01. What did I do? I reduce the frequency by 10 times. Correct? Sorry, reduce the capacitance by 10 times.
Yes, sir.
So what should happen to your F1 now?
F1 should
Should increase by 10 times.
increase.
So it is something like, okay, 28
Oh,
hertz.
not
It should become almost 280 hertz.
280.
Yes, sir.
Shall we run? I'll run it.
Yes, sir.
Can you see as it shifted now?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
So I need to move now this and then again adjust this so that it is 3 dB down. Where is 3 dB? Am I there close? Just have a look at this magnitude difference. That should be
3.43. Go.
okay. Am I there close to?
Yes, sir.
I'm there close. Can you see it is now 280 something?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
Can you see it
280.
is now depending on the value of Cc and of course Rin also. How do you change Rin? Can I change Rin?
Yes, sir. We can.
Suppose if I now, let me just
Change
undo
R1
this.
and R2.
1 second. Let me undo this. So how do I undo? Let me undo this F9. Okay, I did undo. I will do the undo and then run it now. What I'll do, I will take this cursor. Okay, one more cursor. Just see what is the gain here. What is the gain? Gain
4.91.
4.91. So what was this frequency? Cutoff frequency 280, sorry, 28 something.
28. Yes, sir.
28, fine. So one of you note the what is that, gain and this, and we'll change this to 0.1. Sorry, 0.01. Change to 0.01. Run it. What was the gain?
4.91, sir.
Can you see, is the gain almost there same?
Yes, sir.
4.8.
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
4.1.
Meaning this coupling capacitor will not change the gain of the amplifier at midband. This we
Yes,
call it
sir.
as midband. At frequencies neither very low nor very high, it is not modified because of changing coupling capacitance. But does this F1 value change?
Yes,
Yes,
sir.
sir.
F1 value is inversely proportional to coupling capacitance. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
One way.
So this is one understanding. Is that fine?
Yes, sir.
So in this amplifier, this coupling capacitor will decide what is the cutoff frequency, the lower cutoff frequency of your frequency response. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
So for a better filter, we would like to have this to be as small as possible. So this has to go like this. So the cutoff frequency should not be 280 hertz. It should be something like, okay, 2 hertz, 3 hertz. Even if it is 28 hertz is fine. How do we achieve that is, we will achieve that by not having a larger value of CC, but having a larger value of R in. Maybe in your what is that, BEC, yeah, Beck or what is that, in that basic electronics, did you learn that, okay, what are the important parameters of op amp? What are the important parameters of op amp? Can somebody say? Input impedance infinity, output impedance low, gain should be infinity, something like that, no? Those are ideal characteristics. Hello? Hello?
Yes, sir.
Forgot? It's almost more than 1 year. Learned all those things. What I mean to say is, the input impedance of an amplifier should be as high as possible. So what I'll do, I'll make this 1000K and I'll make this 800K. Does the gain change?
Yes, sir, it will.
Does the gain change? 800?
Yes, sir.
Hey, how come? The ratio remains the same, no? This is 1000K, this is 800K.
Yes, sir.
Ratio remains the same, VGS won't change because you are increasing both of them by 10 times.
No, yes, sir.
So I'll make this again 0.01, sorry, 0.1. What is the intention of making R1, R2 large is, I want to have larger input impedance. Now what is the effective input impedance now? Is it not 444K instead of 44K?
Yes, sir.
It is now increased by 10 times. If I run it now, see what happens. Okay, what is the cutoff frequency now? The cutoff
20.
frequency is now 3.5 hertz. Am I correct?
Yes, sir.
That you are not seeing because I am starting from 10 hertz. What I should do if I want to see that also?
Sweep from 0 hertz.
See from 0 is not possible because 0 in decade scale you cannot start with a 0. You can start from 0.1 hertz.
No.
Yes, sir.
0.1 run. See now? It is okay, 100 millihertz. Can you see the gain is still, of course, even though it is 6.4 dB, the gain is almost very close to it because in ratios it is very less. So what is 3 dB down? 3 dB down, I'll put it somewhere here. 3 dB. Can you see it's almost 3.5 hertz?
Yes, sir.
This is what is expected, no? We were supposed to get 35.81 hertz, we are getting 28 hertz. Now we are supposed to get 3.5 hertz. Are you getting close to 3.5 hertz? Of course, almost
Yes, sir.
equal to 3.5 hertz. What is the takeaway from this? Takeaway from this is, if the input impedance is high, this frequency is lower and lower. Correct?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, we will discuss the other two frequencies in the next class. Okay, what the outcome of this particular class is, we could able to write. Okay, let me just recap. Okay, what we have done today. So maybe let me just. Have we started with this? Where is that? Where is that? Okay. Did we started with this amplifier?
Yes, sir.
Our intention is to get the frequency response. So we started with this, but we found that there is no capacitor itself. So we started including this CC because we want to do it for all frequencies. Then we considered the parasitic capacitance of this MOSFET. We included CG-S1, CG-DVOS, and then using Miller's theorem, we could able to split that capacitance onto the either side, that is C1 and C2. Okay, this is what is the expression for C1 and C2. They depend on the gain of the amplifier. This is C1, this is C2. So you merge these two, put it as C in. You merge these two, put it as R in. You can see when we actually change the values of R1, R2, this R in has modified. when you change the value of CC, this was modified. So now we actually found out what is all these parameters, and we are trying to find out which one to consider, which one to not consider at lower and higher frequencies. We found that okay, at low frequencies we can certainly neglect the impact of this and this, so we end up with only this as the equivalent circuit, which is the representation of what? A high pass filter. Its cutoff frequency is decided by CC and Rin, and we have two low pass filters at higher frequencies. One is because of this R source and a input capacitance, and of course we have CT and R2. Sorry,
C2.
C2 and RD. C2 and RD. So that's what we try to verify. If I change the value of CC and Rin, this high pass cutoff frequency of the high pass filter was changing. That's what we verified here. Correct? Now, of course, now you certainly go through the videos. You can just sink in many concepts.
Sir, why do we need to like? Why should the cutoff frequency should be too low, like compared to
Because
the
if you are using an amplifier to amplify something like a music will have frequencies. Assume that you have a tabla, so tabla will going to have its sound at around 100 hertz or 200 hertz. Suppose the frequency cutoff frequency of this amplifier is something like 500 hertz. When your original music has tabla, veena, and so on, so you will not get that amplifier in the amplified version. You will not get tabla at all, because it's at laying at a very low frequency. Your amplifier is not amplifying that frequency at all. So we should ensure that it should even amplify the DC part of it. So that's why the lower frequency should be as small as possible. That can be achieved using higher input impedance rather than going for higher coupling capacitance, because coupling capacitance, maybe when you learn it later, coupling capacitance should be as small as possible. Suppose you cannot make this as small as possible theoretically, instead of that you make this input impedance as high as possible by going for what? Higher resistance. So the intention is I should have larger bandwidth, not only on the higher side, on the lower side it should be as close as possible to zero. Suppose this coupling capacitor is not at all there, then there is no reduction in the gain at all. So we say it as DC gain. So that's what we see in your op amps. In op amps, they don't have any coupling capacitor itself, so that's why they don't have any lower cutoff frequency at all. So they only have the higher cutoff frequencies. Okay, fine. So then we'll just close the class. Thank you so much for coming on extra
Again,
class.
that model is not working, sir.
Oh, sorry, man. Okay, I don't know how to make you. Oh, that one. I don't know what is the problem. If I disable it, will work out. I don't know. Even I didn't upload too many things. I don't know why there is it says there is abuse of so and so. Again, I just talk to them. I'll just enable that.
Okay, sir.
From my side, I'll enable. Okay, sorry, I'll disable it. So if I disable, I think it will be fine. Okay, then thank you.
Thank you, sir.